everyone. It's nice to be here. And she called me Miss. I like that. I'm married, but that's nice. Just took me back to good old days. I'm going to talk about how we can use humor in our day to day lives. It's something that I have been doing for a while, so I hope that this is going to help you as well. When you search for humor in the dictionary, you will find it in a lot of places, of course. But if you look for the word humor, in particular, it says quality in something that makes it funny, the ability to laugh at things that are funny. Now, let us look at the word fun in dictionary. Clearly, if you are looking for fun in dictionary, you're not having any. But funny or being fun is defined as something that causes laughter or amusement or something that is humorous. Funny is also defined as something that is difficult to understand or explain. Now, why is the word funny, like love or cryptocurrency, so difficult to understand? We all know that there's something called the sense of humor. It improves your mental and physical health. It boosts your attractiveness. I mean, just look at me, right? It improves your leadership skills, and it helps you to break the ice when you meet someone new. I'm sure some of you here are aware of the dating apps, and this is one thing that girls are looking for, in their potential boyfriends. It is quite evident. They put it out there. Men, they don't put it out there, but that's a different issue. Uh, what is this requirement? What is the need for sense of humor? Some people see humor as entertainment. For some, it is a coping mechanism. I see humor as a lens. Normally, why do we need lens? A lens amplifies, diminishes, colors, sometimes even distorts things. At the same time, if it is used right, a lens can help you focus, concentrate, and correct your viewpoints and vision. I'll keep coming back to this metaphor, so some examples are in order. Remember the time when you entered a fun house with mirrors? Or if you're not relating to that, we have its cousins, selfie filters on different social media platforms. Yeah, and then you laughed out loud on the distortions that it added. That's me, by the way, so gorgeous. That is a form of humor lens. We literally see the changes the mirrors and filters make to our faces and bodies, and we laugh. This is, of course, a visual analogy that can extend to spoken word as well, where we modify language and situations to amplify the comic effect. I have mostly been an observational comic. I keenly observe things around me. I try to bring humor in it. Now, whenever I write jokes based on my past experiences, I feel that had I looked at those experiences with my humor lens, I would have been a better stand up comic now, for sure. But we learn, and as kids, our humor lens is pretty intact. When I see my toddler daughter laugh like a drain when I blow a raspberry on her belly, or when I put my glasses in the Rajnikant way, I also, try to run and pretend to fall, and she laughs her head off. Sometimes I do have a very bad fall, which is not as funny for me as it is for her. But as and when we grow, the lens just diminishes. We start forming a worldview. When we reach the mid part of our teens, we roll our eyes when we see people do stupid things, right? I have a neighbor who has a teenage daughter, and when your kids are in your teens, you as parents try really hard to be cool. I agree. I agree. He shared a joke with his 14-year-old daughter while she was waiting for the school bus. He was like, I'm really worried about the calendar. Its days are numbered. And she responded with a big yikes. I mean, it was a perfectly fine joke. The lens had changed. What was so funny about Mr. Bean ruining a painting worth millions by accidentally sneezing on it? Now, I want all of you to imagine that you're in a store that sells glassware. And they have this beautiful statue of a kid playing a flute. You hold this statue, and the flute breaks. You're sweating because the statue costs a bomb. You're definitely not ready to pay for it. You didn't even want it in the first place. You just held it because there was a board that said handle with caution. You wanted to check if you're cautious enough or not. Turns out you're not. You're imagining the worst, but then something strikes and you make the broken flute look like a cigarette just by changing the orientation of the flute. Well done. For someone who takes a look at this statue now, it's surely going to be funny. And when you come back home, you have something to discuss and marginally be proud of. By the way, this is just an example. I may or may not have done something like this. When first time in the history the milk got split, I'm sure there was one person who witnessed it and cried a lot. And then there was somebody with a humor lens who made paneer out of it. And the world is going gaga over it. While this is clearly not how paneer is made, I'm happy to use this view through my humor lens. But there are some things more serious than breaking flutes and making paneer, like death. What happens to the humor lens then? I don't find death funny, but I have seen people reacting in a funny way, saying things that help me to keep my humor lens intact. I remember when I lost my great grandfather, our neighbor got all of us breakfast, idlis, and her biggest worry that morning was that the idli batter did not ferment as per her expectations because the weather did not cooperate. Just like how my great grandfather did not cooperate with the oxygen cylinder. Now, some of you out there might be thinking, this is not funny, it's so insensitive, but honestly, I feel if you're not the cause of the death, it's fine. We all have our own personal journeys when it comes to dealing with grief, of course. How you come in terms with your personal loss is completely up to you. But in my experience, humor helps, always. It is surely my go-to survival kit in any difficult situation. You can stand back and see what's important with good humor by your side. It's like having a wise friend whom you tag along everywhere. Maybe fights, stress, sadness. This is one friend you can rely on. The friend will hardly provide you any solution, but is sure to make the problem seem smaller. I've always been asked this question, are you born with a sense of humor? Are you funny since birth? Or, as the metaphor of the day goes, is our humor lens inherited, acquired, or made? Humor is what makes something funny. And a sense of humor is actually the ability to recognize it. A person with a good sense of humor need not be funny. But for someone like me who's taking the funny business a little serious, it is important to have a good sense of humor as well. We all are born with it. But some of us, it is either broken or has just gathered dust. In the manufacture of lenses, slabs of glass are cut with a glass saw or a slitting disc, and a piece of the desired type and shape is chipped to a rough, round blank, or the pieces may be heated to softness, rolled to a round shape, and pressed in a mold to get the desired size and to approximately desired curvature of the surfaces. The surfaces are then ground or lapped to a final form using a coarse emery, carborundum, or diamond as an abrasive. Now, to manufacture the humor lens, slabs of reality have to be cut smartly using the right amount of exaggeration. We also call it as distorted reality. Now, what you have now is a rough perspective and definitely not a clear one. Then a copious amount of spontaneity might come in handy, and then you get the final form. Make sure that you participate in playful activities of life, and then the rough edges can be smoothened out by I don't take myself seriously attitude. Now, don't mistake this for not taking your work seriously, because taking your work seriously and yourself lightly might just be the trick to survive the rat race that we all are part of. Humor as a lens works to reduce the seriousness of the situation, especially useful when we take ourselves way too seriously. It provides the iconic ah to aha to ha 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 tak change. Before someone points fingers at you and laughs, we can always use humor to see our own flaws and accept them so well that we find humor out of it. In the world that shows us multiple distortions of reality, we can at least choose the one that makes us laugh. Keep the humor lens ready. Polish it once in a while and use it generously. It can come handy in most of the serious situations and lighten the Delhi like smog into a clean, fresh mountain air. So, next time when you're feeling blue or green or whichever color your mood reflects, use the humor lens and take the time to laugh. Even if it's watching a meme or watching me perform live or stalking my Instagram account or even remembering the last time you tripped on a peel and came out cursing. If nothing works, you always have the Malleshwaram Laughing Club. Every little laugh will help you live a happier life. And while we are at it, let us also understand that everyone comes with a different lens. So that when we move from laughing at each other, we can move to laugh with each other. And also, being a comic, it is my job to make it seem like the jokes were very easy and effortless, but making someone smile or laugh with the power of my words is not that easy. That is why I always put my glasses all the time so that I don't miss a chance to find a smile. Thank you.